Hey guys, welcome back to another video where I go over nuclear tech mod updates and changes. Today's video will primarily focus on the chemical factory, which is a big brother to the chemical plant. It has also been reworked and it looks pretty awesome. Also, I'll go over some of the other smaller updates and finally also the RBMK reactors. This is the same world which I used for them just to show you that this is stable, doesn't really explode. So anyways, without any further ado, let's get straight into this video. Alright, let's start with the size of the chemical factory. So the chemical plant, it has a footprint of 3x3 now, and the chemical factory, it has a footprint of 5x5. However, both of these machines are 3 blocks high in total, and compared to the old chemical factory, you can see the size difference here. And yeah, it has all of these ports on the top and on the sides. And the ports for coolant, which is going to be water, has been marked by blue, which you can see here, and they are available on 2 of the opposite sides. All of the other remaining ports can be used for input-output of solids and liquids. Now you can use a total of 4 recipes in here, and the recipe selection is the same as the chemical plant. You can scroll down and then select any recipe that you want. No need to get any template for it. And when we stack the chemical plant, there was a frame on top of it. Same goes for the factory. So when you stack these on top, and if the middle block is not air, the top middle block is not air, then yeah, you are going to get a nice frame around it, which is going to make it look more supported. So let's start with a simple recipe, say hydrogen peroxide. Now this one only takes water and it converts into hydrogen peroxide 1:1 ratio. Now the chemical plant consumes 2000 HE per second at base speed and produces the hydrogen peroxide at not very consistent speed. Let's do the same for the chemical factory. Even if I connect everything properly, it won't start running because we haven't provided it with the coolant, which is water. So I'm going to make a connection for water and low pressure steam, and as soon as I start supplying it with coolant, it will start functioning. So yeah, the one good thing about this new chemical factory is that it doesn't take water from any of the recipes. It has a dedicated line for the coolant, which is pretty good. Now, if the low pressure steam fills up, then it will stop working, so make sure the loop is consistent. And now that it is working constantly, we are going to produce low pressure steam at a rate of 2000 millibuckets per second, which is what a single condenser can basically handle. And this is it running at the base speed, consuming double the power, and also I think it runs at double the speed. So that's that. And for upgrades, it can take speed, power saving, and also overdrive 3 upgrade. So these are all of the 3 upgrades you can use. However, speed upgrade, I tried to stack them, didn't really work. The power remained the same, but you can use overdrive upgrade to make it go very fast. And also one thing to remember, if you are using the power saving upgrade, then the power saving upgrades modifier, it applies to the base consumption, not the total consumption. So for example, at the base level, this consumes 4000 HE per second, right? Now, if I use power saving 3, this reduces that by 75%, but 75% of 4000 is just 3000, which is what it subtracts. It doesn't take away from the total power draw, only the base power draw. Now, it can also share fluid. So let's take sulfuric acid for example. It requires water and hydrogen peroxide along with sulfur. Now, hydrogen peroxide and water, both of them are already there in the chemical factory. So if I select the recipe for sulfuric acid, then these will start filling up. So here you can see water, and slowly the hydrogen peroxide will also fill up. So it can share fluids at a rate of 50 millibuckets per tank. Now, if you want to make this process go faster, then make sure that you are not outputting that hydrogen peroxide anywhere. And as I said, the ports on the side can be used for input. So I have used the conveyor input here, and this will basically start producing sulfuric acid when you start inputting sulfur in here. So yeah, that is how the chemical factory can also share fluids inside it. Let's take another recipe for example, which works based on sulfuric acid. So that would be nitric acid. So nitric acid requires sulfuric acid along with niter. So I'm going to get another conveyor line with niter going in it. And if I set the recipe to nitric acid, then this will start sharing the sulfuric acid that we had. And yeah, basically same as before, it will start producing nitric acid. So here we go, we are taking in sulfuric acid from inside the chemical factory and producing nitric acid out of it. and the only inputs we needed were water, sulfur, and niter. So that is pretty neat. And based on the upgrades, the level, or basically the consumption rate of water and low pressure steam is not going to change. It is going to be at 2000 millibuckets per second for every recipe that you are doing. And yeah, doesn't change based on speed. So that's pretty neat. And that was all there is to it as far as I know for the chemical factory. Also, the chemical plant has its ports fixed. So the input output which I showed in my last video was not working. I guess now it is. I haven't really tested it yet. Also, another thing is that it says that sulfur will be produced in more quantity from even normal oil. So yeah, that is viable if you want to produce fracking solution while not doing fracking itself, just processing normal crude oil. So we got 64 sulfur out of 64,000 millibuckets of crude oil, and yeah, all of the other products in their respective ratios. Now the Starmetal 50 BMG bullet, I want to compare its damage with the depleted uranium one. So let's start with depleted uranium. Headshot will deal 56 damage, and body shot deals 45 damage. With the Starmetal, headshot deals a whopping 94 damage, and body shot deals 75 damage to Iron Golem. Can the villager survive? Nope, can't. So yeah, Starmetal 50 BMG bullets does way more damage than the depleted uranium ones. Also, the meme spoon, this market gardener, it says that it will no longer go off in a nuke fashion like it used to before. And also the steel trapdoor, which functions as a ladder. This is a new addition, so yeah, can work as a ladder, which is pretty neat. And finally, all of these RBMK reactors, they have been running in the background when we were recording. None of these actually blew up, and yeah, things have been working good. So for the guy who said, why did his reactor explode? Check your water pipes. Maybe there is a problem in there. Now, there were also a lot of other smaller changes which I didn't really cover in this video. I will make sure to go over them in my next one. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed this. You learned something from this video. If you did, do smash that like button and also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content like this. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, peace out and stay safe, my guys.